Good morning, everyone. My name is Casey Mooney, and I am a teacher here at Hanover Central Middle School. I currently teach 8th grade English language arts, but I've taught other grades, including 5th grade, 4th grade, and 2nd grade. One thing that I've noticed in my years of teaching is that students love to tell you all about their accomplishments outside of the classroom. They love to hear their names over the morning announcements about their big win or their gold medal. But students who don't necessarily fall into the athletic or superb academic category can often feel left out. Their interests pushed to the wayside. This is why I'm proposing an increase of non-academic, non-athletic clubs or activities at Hanover Central Middle School. As I'm sure you know, things like this don't happen overnight, and the help of families and communities are crucial for a successful program such as this. Any help that is provided to increase the feelings of belonging and welcoming for these students is so appreciated. A committee has already been put together to establish what is needed, but your input is needed to make this committee strong. The committee consists of Mr. Martin, our school principal, myself, Mr. York, Mrs. Boland. We are all employees of Hanover Central Middle School. Mr. Patel, Mr. Valiska, and Mrs. Franklin are all parents of students in the building, with Mr. Valiska relaying all of our meeting notes to the school board. Miss Layla Nestor and Miss Saratu Matua are two students at the school who have expressed interest in creating these programs for their classmates. Having parents, a school board member, students, teachers, and a school administrator provides the sound footing needed to ensure that all avenues are explored for these programs. Hanover Central Middle School has a total of 31 activities for students to participate in outside of the regular classroom. 19 of them are sports or athletic related, like football, basketball, baseball, or softball, etc. 8 of them are academic related, like Spell Bowl, Academic Super Bowl, National Junior Honor Society, or NJHS, etc. And 4 of them are not really related to athletics or academics, like Socially Together and Naturally Diverse, or STAND Club, the Drama Club, and Games and Cards Club. In retrospect to the other clubs and activities available to students, the ratio is way off. Wu and Key state that having students involved in activities outside of the regular classroom curriculum increases their self-esteem and self-worth, opens up doors to new friendships, which is incredibly important in middle school, as we all know, and increases a feeling of belonging. These last 2 years have been isolating and rather intimidating for us as adults. I can't imagine what feelings may be swimming around in students' heads. Hopefully, providing a safe space for them outside of the classroom will help ease some of those feelings. By creating more clubs and activities for students who do not feel connected to athletics or academics, they can still feel like they belong to their school and contribute to their school culture. The more parent or guardian and community involvement, which includes participating in the planning, the higher the student achievement in school socially, academically, and emotionally. That includes participating and working with these activities outside of the classroom. And there is where we need your help in making these activities happen for our students. By putting together the committee I mentioned earlier, we are able to have a diverse set of eyes and ears on what is needed or wanted in our community. Having surveys allows us to have access to qualitative and quantitative data to back up our claims of the necessity of these clubs or activities. However, just with everything, a budget will be needed to determine what can actually happen. Going through applications on people interested in sponsoring these activities is crucial. With the help of our public information officer, committee members, and school secretary, these clubs can be promoted with the use of posters, social media posts, website announcements, and end of the day announcements. Once the ball is fully rolling, the budget can finally be finalized so that the clubs can actually happen. With these goals in mind, the proposed timeline and responsibilities are crucial. Our first goal being by fall of 2023, at least 3 new clubs or activities will be available to all 6 through 8 students. This includes students in self-contained emotionally disabled classroom. Our second goal, by fall of 2023, the clubs and activities will set up at least bi-weekly meetings. Number 3, by spring 2024, students participating in the club attendance in school will go up by at least 30%. As stated before, these are our main parts in our timeline. Um, we have the school administrator being responsible for putting together the committee members putting together these surveys for parents and students, school administrator finalizing that budget, putting together applications, and then creating those posters to promote these clubs. We then have that finalizing of the budget and holding those call out meetings to get students to actually show up to see what our attendance would actually look like. Our PIO will then post updates on clubs' activities to social media and the school website. And then the committee members will determine whether or not the attendance has improved since the initiation of these new clubs or activities. Committee members towards the end of 2023 will then resend out some new surveys to determine what needs to be added, what needs to be changed, what's going well, what isn't going well. And then finally, the school needs to finalize that budget once more. Resources. There are things that we need to keep in mind on the resources needed. We'll need sponsors, adults to facilitate these activities or clubs, location where these meetings will actually take place, money, either by donations, fundraising, school budget, participants. There is no club without students' participation. Support from the community, and then evaluating these results and hoping to see a positive impact on the school's climate and culture. Here we have a video of a student expressing how clubs have benefited her. After hearing this young lady's testimony about the benefits of clubs or activities, certain training would be possibly needed for the sponsors and anyone else involved. The first being facilitating student leadership, allowing students to advocate for themselves. We want to raise that self esteem. In the world that we live in today, however, having proper mandated reporter training would also be necessary. Students may feel more comfortable opening up about possible abuse in the space that they feel safe in. This also includes suicide prevention training. And finally, first aid and CPR training. Injuries and emergencies can happen just as easily at an art club as they can at football practice. So sponsors need to have the tools they need in order to help a student if needed. In order to determine the success of the programs implemented, these steps need to be taken. New surveys about the clubs needed or warranted for these students. Evaluating the attendance for the school. Students have to attend school in order to participate in the clubs or activities after school. A measure of the school's climate and culture via survey for students, staff, and parents and guardians, and a measure of parent and guardian and community members' engagement in the programs or school in general. Thank you so much for attending today's presentation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. I'll be happy to talk about it with you. If you could, before you leave, please scan this QR code to take a brief survey on how you would like to get involved in the creation of new clubs and activities for students at Hanover Central Middle School. Again, thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you all in the near future.